everybody wants to get paid a certain amount of money, which is totally fine. But I just don't see, like, when you're working a job for somebody else, there should be wholesale pricing. Like, don't you agree with that? Like, if a client calls you directly to perform, not you personally because you own a company, but just in general, if you're working for another company, you shouldn't be charging that company what you would charge a client. They are not a client. They're not. Like, if you book me to do a party for you because I'm available, Chris, I'm not charging you what I would charge a client. I'm like, Chris, how much you want to pay me? Okay,
well,
great,
that's
let's
what
party.
I say. That's what I say to everybody that reaches out. Hey, you got anyone? Like, if I'm available or someone else is available, this is what I pay them.
This is a sticky topic. We don't have to talk about this.
Right.
Let's move on.
This is going to be a terrible, terrible backlash on that.
I will say that in case we leave this, I will say that I just think it's astronomical what people are valuing themselves at. And I never would tell anybody how much they could get paid. But that doesn't mean that I agree with the value that you're giving. I'm sorry.
So the moral of my story is this. If you send me a text message, here's my availability and here's my 2025-26 rates, what is justifying? You have every date available. So you have no value.
Yeah. If you're available every time I call you, then obviously
you have no value.
Or you're charging too much. And it's okay to lower your rate. Everybody should just be happy that they're working as much as they can. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying anybody should get paid any less or any more, but look at what you're charging. If you're available, you're charging too much. If you're charging this rate and you're booked solid, okay, maybe you could push the envelope a little bit if you like. But if you're booked solid and you're happy, just go to work and make money. I don't see it. I don't see where it becomes, this is how much I want to get paid. Like, what have you done to create this price for you? Where did you come up with this number? Because somebody else is getting it?
Yes.
Because this person is getting it?
Somebody that they met said that they get this for privates. Maybe he's super talented. Maybe he talks on a microphone as well. Maybe we were able to put that person in a position where you didn't need a front man and a DJ and you're doing a backyard 50-person graduation party where you're able to grab the mic and say, everybody give it up for Tatiana, Melissa, Michelle on her graduation. There's DJs now that are petrified to pick up a microphone.
Or just will tell you, I don't.
I get that.
I don't.
Every day.
I don't go on the mic.
I don't go on the mic.
Well, how are you justifying the money that you're asking for then? Because you could play songs?
Right. I get it, dude. I get it.
I had an older sax player once tell me that he was trying to justify him asking for more money because the younger guys were getting more money. What does that have to do with anything? Michael Jackson gets more money than you. Should I give you Michael Jackson's money?
He's dead.
I'm saying.
Still getting more money than us.
It's retarded. It's a retarded conversation to have constantly. It's just crazy.
There's so many different topics to touch at all times. That's really what it comes down to. It's we're not going to cure the behind the scenes nonsense. I promise you we're not. We're not those people. We're not going to be the people that fix it. There are people, that feel that their value is 10 times more than what it really is. I still think if you go back to many years, years ago, there was more of a younger following that wanted to come up and actually do this. I don't see that anymore. Which is great because I've always thought we'd be a glass of milk and we'd have an expiration date. It doesn't look like that's happening. It doesn't. Unless we go back to, you just totally fade away with traditions. And you just let a kid come in with his 2 speakers, boom, rock your wedding, that's it. And that's it. It's over.
Yeah, but I don't hear that. I hear horror stories. I don't hear rocking. I hear a lot of horror stories. I do. I used to be the engagement. When I first started coming up, I was doing engagement parties constantly. I didn't care what I needed. I knew if I went and did an engagement party, I was going to get the wedding.
Yeah,
it was like a job interview.
We touched that topic, yep.
Right? It's like a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not the engagement DJ anymore. I'm the wedding DJ. But when other people do the engagements, these people are running into my office and they're like, "Yeah, we got to book you right away." The engagement party wasn't bad, but it was, nonstop. My parents weren't happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, people still don't understand that the parents have a tremendous say in what's going on at the wedding. They think that their parents don't, but they do. I just did a final yesterday. The dad stood at the table the whole entire time. Not in a bad way. We were chilling.
Not for nothing. This is a great topic.
Parents are still involved.
Parents are 100% still involved in planning the biggest day of your life, whether it's financially or they're just going to interject. My guys from work are coming. I'm not listening to this all night. Or mom, my girlfriends need to dance. I don't want to hear that you're going to be playing 2 hours, 3 hours of this club, blah, 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 blah. So you just touched a really, really, really good topic on that. Parents are 100% involved.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that. It has non-wedding related. It's something that I was at someone's house yesterday, and the dad was just kind of like interjecting. And I just said to him, I says, maybe I'm not the company for you. It seems like you might be able to get this done a lot less than what I can do it for. And there's no hard feelings. This is the second time I'm coming here. I met your daughter. She asked me questions. I already know who's doing this, and this for her. I told her to get rid of these two because they're getting it from these four and just go to the main source, not to cut anyone out, to help her. Mm-hmm. They called me back. I came back again. And he's like, but you're going to do it this way and not do it that way? I said,
right. You don't even want to be there.
It's not even that.
It's not
I
your
don't
job.
have it. I'm already here for free twice.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to help your daughter. As much as you don't want to believe me, you think I'm here as a salesperson. Those 4 people you already hired were my referrals.
Right.
I didn't want to ask you about DJing.
But and then it becomes they're doing you a favor.
Oh, it's always
like I'm performing at your wedding. You're not doing me a favor.
It's always that we hire.
Like let's do this together.
We did the right thing.
Right.
But parents, 100% still in the background are playing a major role.
And even I know that these type of stories come up. I did a wedding like 6 months ago, and I did a wedding. Woman came up to me after, which is always nice when they come up and they compliment. It makes you feel really good. Honestly, It makes me emotional. Honestly, it makes me emotional because I'm like, I love what I do. And when somebody comes up to me and says something nice, I'm like, thank you so much. Like, it really means a lot that you took the time. The next day, the niece called me. And she said, do you have a card? And I gave her a card, and the niece called me. She was like, hey, you met my aunt last week. I'm like, oh, yeah. I remember her because she came up with her husband. And what people don't understand, like, it was her aunt. She was, you have to do the eclectic mix of music. You have to play the older stuff. As a young DJ, you have to be able to play older stuff, whether it's disco or 50s and 60s or whatever the case. You have to be able to do that more than 3 songs because the other people that are in the room are going to be like, yo, seen this DJ, he was great, kept the music, mixed it up, eclectic, was on the mic a little bit, he was fresh, everything was good, it wasn't corny. And then she calls and she books. So that girl is a mouthpiece, that aunt. And that's where the older music comes in, and that's where, the catering to the entire group comes in. And if you're just playing the same type of music for 2 hours, you literally, I'm seeing weddings clear out. It's already a burden to go a wedding, and it's already too expensive.
We're talking, you're talking too much about the music and about other people being horrible. And I don't mean to cut you off on that. I'm being serious. But right now it's going to stem back to, maybe I don't have the educated way of putting this out there, but since we were on the topic of parents being involved, whether it's financially or back end, whatever it may be, I get parents that come into my office that will show me someone's setup and they think that that's the fucking most important thing in the world, and I say, that looks awesome, why are you here? And they just look at me like, why would you even say that? This looks so cool. Why are you here? So we could talk all day long about the music. You're not going to change a bad DJ into a good DJ. You're just not. Neither am I. And I'm too burnt out to even preach about the music and preach on what can be changed and this and that, because people have their own ways and everybody's new terminologies. They're all trying to be different. Especially with, I'm on the phone all day. Mom, I seen this one. It was a drummer. It was a sax player. It was this and this. Why are you hiring a DJ? Call Hank Lane. Call this one. Call that one. Bobby Antico's part of Hank Lane. We're doing production for a wedding for them. If you want a band, call a band. There's some dope bands out there. But why did you come here? Did you want me to lie to you and tell you, well, we bring in Dominic on drums, we bring in this one, Jason on sax, and we have jam sessions in the shop? I'd be lying to you. We're not a band. Bands do that. Why are you here? Like, what parents, once again, play a major role. We love that. Keep the tradition alive. Let mom and dad help their son or daughter out. But there's so many different key things with this. Like what you were saying, going back and forth to the music scenario, It's always going to be that. There's going to be, you're good, he's not. He's good, you're not. It's what they think. And it falls into the price range. At the end of the day, so we have Starbucks, you have Dunkin' Donuts. People will die for Dunkin'. I think it's toilet water. Sorry, bud. I'm a Starbucks guy. You know, I'll pay the $8 for a good coffee. It is what it is. You're not changing it. There's a lot of hidden talent, dude. There's a lot of hidden talent, and there's a lot of talent that it looks like talent, but the effects, the slow motion, the CO2 gun, the signs, you know, the preaching online, the fake press work, there's a lot more of that than really seeing a really talented entertainer.
Yeah, I agree with that, with the marketing for sure.
That's
super important. Super important, the marketing.
I changed up my content. I changed up my content in 2025, and I'm gonna make this a whole nother segment. So here we go. I changed my content when the ball dropped in 2025 because I wanted to see what I can physically do again. I want to do it all over again. 2017 or 18, I started with content. I want to do it again differently in 25 to see where it goes. So I'm kind of testing myself now on this. People that are in business, not like ours. Dude, I seen the switch up. I love it. Oh, you noticed it? Awesome. Dude, cool. Oh, I seen this. Oh my God, that was so funny. That's so different. But the moral of my story and why I just said the switch up of the content, this and that, is because I'm going to go back to, I sat with a bride and a groom. How come you don't like show your face? This is true. May God take me in my sleep. I said, what do you mean? She's like, I looked at this company and like, you know, they explain everything. Mike, I'm going to say it again on my children. I got up. They didn't book me for their wedding. I know who they booked. And it wasn't even the company they were talking about, but I already knew who did the family member's wedding. I said, I'm going to have fun with this one. I went in the back. I grabbed that RCF 745A. I came in. I put it on this table. I said, this is an RCF 745A. That's the cover that goes over it. This is the power cable that turns it on. We run it at blah, blah, blah ohms, and it puts out 2,000, 3,000 watts. The girl looked at me like I had 5 heads. I says, how many of those do you want at your wedding? She like didn't understand what I was getting at, and the groom was like, oh, he's messing with you. I said, I just explained the speaker. Are you sold? Are you sold? So you have people that are selling, once again, gear, not personality, not talent, not anything else. When moms and dads come in and they show me a picture of someone else's setup, I'm the first one to go, that's dope. Why are you here? Look at this guy. I work with him. I says, oh, he's got 750 million views on this TikTok video. Why are you here? You want me to bash the guy? That's just not me. 20 years ago, I might have threw a fucking dig or a dag, but why are you here? Hey, we're here. You wouldn't send my daughter pricing. I walk over. I see that cubby? That's everyone else's pricing that previous brides and grooms walked in with. They didn't meet with you. They emailed you it. You printed it. You came here with it. I don't need to know what Joe, John, Jim, Harry, Dick, whoever charges. Like the same thing you went into. Value, worth, this and that.
It's tough.
Right. Costco's got medical and benefits. If you get the managerial position, I'll come work for you. That's where we can go. Soon enough.
And scene.
I get it all the
Chris
time.
Knox goes in.